Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm back with you with another video. Today I just want to talk about the OnePlus 7T Pro 1 year later. Now, of course, this phone was released in 2019, and it is very similar to that of the OnePlus 7 Pro. I think the only difference was this has an 855 Plus processor. They added a camera, a macro lens, something that nobody's going to use. And I think the battery is slightly bigger, but that's pretty much it. It's pretty much the same device. But I just want to share with you really quick how this phone has aged and how it's, been for me over the past year or so. Now, let me say this also. The prices for this device are still really good. Now, the OnePlus 7 Pro is going to be considerably cheaper than that of the 7T Pro. But like I said, they're pretty much the same phone. Like I said, the main thing, just a slightly bigger battery, and mainly the 855 Plus as opposed to the 855. So you can't go wrong with either. I would get the 7 Pro, especially if you want to save money. I've seen that phone for around just a little over 300. So I'm just talking about this one because this is the one I have. All right. So the best prices for this phone, you can find them on Amazon or eBay. So really quick, let me just share with you the things that I love about this device the most. First thing is the build quality. Now I'll take off the case really quick. The build quality on this phone is just so beautiful. You have that nice frosted back, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back, an aluminum frame. The only thing that I would say I don't like is if the phone is just a little too thin. I would prefer a phone with a little more thickness. That way, if I decide to use it without a case, it'll be a little more comfortable in my hand. Not that this is uncomfortable, but just a thicker device would just be a little bit better for me. But this Nebula Blue is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love the design of this phone as well. Nice and clean. All right, so let me get it turned on. Let me turn this brightness down. I got it maxed out. Okay. That should be a little bit better. Let me turn it down a little bit more. All right, don't want to blind nobody. All right. So I absolutely love the build quality of the device. OnePlus really knows how to build devices. They build them with premium materials, and you'll absolutely love the build quality on this device if you decide to use this without a case. Now, I highly suggest you use a case only because you don't want to seriously damage your device. And there are thin cases available if you're worried about bulk. Okay? But I definitely suggest you use a case. All right, let's talk about the display. Now, you got a Quad HD Plus Fluid AMOLED display with an HDR10 Plus capable, and it's a 90 hertz refresh rate. Now, this is a really beautiful display, and you know what I like about this display the most, besides it being Quad HD Plus and AMOLED, is that when you look at this display, there's absolutely no notches, no hole punch, no nothing. You're getting a all display device with no bezels. So you're the kind of person that don't like notches, you don't like hole punches, you don't like teardrops, you don't like none of that. This is the phone you want because you're getting a pop-up selfie camera. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but you're getting no bezels and all display. So this is the only all display device that I have, and I absolutely love that. And of course, the 90 hertz refresh rate, it's a wonderful thing too, because when you're scrolling, it's so smooth, and you're going in and out of apps, it's so smooth. You're gonna love that. All right, next thing, the dual stereo speakers. Now, not the best speakers that I have on, between all my devices, but these speakers do sound good. They got nice quality. They can use a little more depth of sound. I think the OnePlus 8 Pro, probably those speakers are louder and sound a little bit better. But you'll enjoy the speaker experience on this too, and I do as well. Next thing is the battery life. Now, you're getting a 4,010 milliamp battery. All I gotta say, heavy usage, 2 days for me. I'm a power user. I got my phone on 100% brightness. I'm looking at least three and a half hours of YouTube videos. I'm looking at regular videos that are already stored on my phone. I'm using 90 hertz with Quad HD Plus resolution. I'm using the phone at max capacity. So I'm not trying to be nice and kind. I'm not trying to save battery. I use this phone full throttle, and I'm getting 2 days. The standby time on this device is phenomenal. Basically, like, say if I'm using the phone light, so I'm just going back and forth every day just for maybe 20 minutes or so every day. With light usage, this phone lasts 6 days. Literally, with light usage, 6 days. And that's with everything at full throttle, y'all. Now, when I'm using it heavily, when I'm putting my SIM card in and I'm just using it like I normally use phones, 2 days easy. And if I don't use the phone, it doesn't use any battery. Like, seriously, it could stay at 100% battery capacity for almost 2 hours. Then when you do use it, it still doesn't use much battery. This thing just sips on battery whether you use the phone or not. So the battery life on this phone is pretty phenomenal. All right. Next thing, 256 gigs of internal memory. I'm the type of person 128 gigs is not nowhere nearly enough storage capacity for me. Everybody's different. Maybe most people 128 you're good, but because I'm such a storage monster, I store so many videos on my device, I need at least 256 minimum. Now, the only thing that disappoints me about OnePlus is that for some reason they just refuse to put expandable memory on their phone, which is a huge disappointment, and it's something I really wish they would change, because for me that's the only thing that's missing besides a headphone jack. But expandable memory is the only thing that's missing, the last thing I'm hoping and wishing they would put on their devices, because when you're only offering 256 and 128, it's not enough. Like, where's the 512 variant? Where's the 1 terabyte variant? Like, if you're not gonna give us expandable memory, at least give us start at 256 and give us a 512 gig variant. I just think that's only fair for those of us that need more storage. All right. Next thing, of course, you get 12 gigs of RAM, which I love because I love a lot of RAM. So that definitely works for me. Next thing, the 30-watt warp charging. So if you're the kind of person that want to top off your phone, or you type person that don't like to charge your phone overnight, you rather wait till the morning, stick it in, charge it in, and then by the time you're ready to go to work, your phone will be fully charged. This is the phone you want, because this 30-watt warp charging is amazing. You could fully charge this phone fully in like 65 minutes. Fully charged from 0 to 100%. So you can charge this phone super, super fast. So I love the warp charging on this device. It's the real deal. Next thing, the pop-up selfie camera. I actually love this because it's very fast and it's very accurate. You see how fast it comes up and goes down? I mean, I'm behind this camera and it catches my face every single time. You see how fast it is? I love it. And you can't hear it. It's super fast, super smooth. It also has fall detection. So if you drop the phone feel like it's falling. The camera will automatically recess back into the phone. Now, I know some people are a little nervous. They figure this phone is not, the pop-up selfie camera is a moving, mechanized, thing, and they're worrying about it breaking or worrying about it not working and all that. I don't think you have to worry. I mean, because OnePlus really makes really quality products, and if you don't want to use the face unlock, you can disable it and just use the fingerprint sensor. So you don't have to worry about, I don't know how long it's going to last before it breaks. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't foresee this pop-up selfie camera breaking anytime soon, honestly, if breaking at all. So I don't think you should not consider this device because it has a pop-up selfie camera. Because of the pop-up selfie camera, you're getting an all-display device. Okay? If you like to enjoy immediate content on your device, this is the phone you definitely want to check out. If you don't want no interference or interruptions on your screen at all, you got to check this phone out. Now, the in-display optical fingerprint sensor, it's 100%, and it's still, to me, to this day, the best and fastest fingerprint sensor on the market when it comes to in-display. It's still the best, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's just, I just love it. You double tap, boom. Like, there's no delay. The only thing about it, you just got to double tap, and I don't like that. I wish it was, I wish I could just see it. Like, I just wish it was on there so I could see it. But it's 100%. You see how fast it is. And it has haptic feedback, and it also has different animations that you can use with it, which I like, which is something Samsung definitely lacks in. Samsung's fingerprint sensor, at least on the Note 10 Plus and also the S20 Ultra, pales in comparison to this fingerprint sensor. Now maybe the one on the Ultra is better, but I don't know because I don't have the Ultra and I don't have the latest S20 Ultra that just came out. So maybe that one is in better competition. I don't know. But this fingerprint sensor on this device is pretty much flawless in my opinion. I have had zero issues with the fingerprint sensor on this device. Next thing, now this is my best feature, and the thing I love the best about this device is the performance. Now, of course, you're getting the Snapdragon 855 Plus and Oxygen OS, which is my second favorite operating system, that behind One UI, Samsung's One UI. This phone is so fast and smooth. I mean, I can't explain it. Like, and then when you you're doing this, like when you're scrolling, I mean, it's so fast and so buttery smooth. It's just crazy. Like, you have to experience it, honestly. This 90 hertz fluid AMOLED display, you gotta use it. This phone is the best performing phone that I have. The only one that rivals it a little bit is my Mi 10 Pro 5G, because that has a 90 hertz, that has the 865 of Snapdragon. So it rivals this one far as speed, but fluidity and smoothness, this phone has no rival. At least the phones that I have, it has no rivals. So performance is my favorite thing on this device, is what constantly brings me back to using it, because it's so fast and so buttery smooth. I just absolutely love it. Now, with the camera, now I'm not a person that takes a lot of photos. I'm just not. I'm not a camera dude. I'm just not. So the camera is not the biggest deal. Now, when I do want to take a picture, I want a good camera. Now, I'll say this is not the best camera out there, but it's not a bad camera at all. It takes really, really good pictures. So if you're just an average consumer and you want a camera that's going to give you nice photos and videos, you're not going to have any issues with this camera. You're just not. Okay, now if you're a photo aficionado and you're heavily into photography and you're a serious critic and you want the best of the best, I would say no. Okay, because it's not even better than the camera on my Note 10 Plus. But this is not a bad camera at all. It's a very good camera, and it takes very nice pictures and videos. It really does. So the average person not gonna have a problem with the photos or the videos. I know I don't. All right. Now let me quick go into the things that I'm most disappointed with, and I didn't think I would ever say this about OnePlus, but the fact that this phone still does not have Android 11, and it doesn't have the newest version of Oxygen OS. I'm very disappointed, because OnePlus is usually faster than Samsung. They would always get the latest version of Android shortly thereafter Google puts it out. So the fact that we're in February and this phone still doesn't have Android 11 nor the latest version of Oxygen OS is extremely disappointing to me. And in my opinion, OnePlus has definitely dropped the ball. I don't know what's going on. They've always impressed me with how fast they, normally update their phones. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm very, very disappointed when it comes to software updates. So I don't know if they're going through a transition with their company. I don't know what's going on. It could be the pandemic. Who knows? But I'm just disappointed, because I'm really waiting, because with the newer version of Oxygen OS, we're finally going to get the always-on display, which I prefer always-on displays, and I've been waiting for years for them to put an always-on display on their phone. Now, they did have it on their earlier version. I believe they had the always-on display on the OnePlus 6, I believe, and then they removed it for some unknown reason, but it's coming back. But I'm really, anticipating it, but it just hasn't been released yet, so I'm still waiting. That's the only thing that, the biggest disappointment I have is just the slow software updates right now. So I don't know what's going on, but I know at some point I'm going to get that update. So can I recommend this phone even after a year of usage and the fact that it came out in 2019 and we're now in 2021? Absolutely, because the price is going to be considerably cheaper. I think when this phone was released, I believe it was like $800. So you can get it now. I've seen it for like 400 something, 500 something. If you just get the OnePlus 7 Pro, you can find it for 300 something. So is it worth it? Absolutely. This phone is an absolute monster. Okay? I give it 4.5 stars. If I had to give it from 1 to 5, 4.5. Like I said, the only thing missing for me is always on display, which is coming soon, but it's not here yet. A headphone jack and some expandable memory. And of course, this one doesn't have wireless charging either, or IP68 water dust resistance. But that's not the biggest deal for me because I don't drop my phone in water or anything like that. But like I said, the biggest things, expandable memory, always on display. Okay, wireless charging, of course, everybody don't care about that. I know I do, but because this phone charges so fast, it's not the biggest deal. Now I like the fact that with the 8 Pro they did put wireless charging on the phone. It's 30 watt fast wireless charging plus reverse wireless charging. That's cool, but if you're the kind of person that don't care about wireless charging and reverse wireless charging and all that, you'll be fine with this. This phone is an absolute monster. You're not going to even have to charge this phone every day, honestly. You could charge this phone every 2 days. So that's going to save you battery life too, because you're not charging it every day like you have to do with other devices. So that was my quick review on the OnePlus 7T Pro 1 year later. Like I said, I highly recommend this phone. So definitely check it out if you're in the market for a new smartphone. Also, let me mention quickly, since I never mentioned this, the durability of this phone is great. And also, the call quality on this phone is great as well. So no issues with call quality. Now, I'm not on the phone like that. That's why I really don't talk about call quality, because I really never talk on the phone that much. It's very, very, a very small amount of time I'm on the phone actually talking to somebody. Most of the time I'm texting, but that's just me. But can't go wrong with this phone. Great device. Highly recommend it. Thanks for taking the time to view this content. Also, I want to say again, I will be giving away one of my smartphones once I reach 1,000 subscribers. And that's just my way of thanking you all for supporting me. I do appreciate it. Thank you all out there that take the time to view this content. And a special shout out to my wife and all my subscribers. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys out there are staying safe. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.